Hello, hello. Hope you're doing okay today. It is a Saturday. I don't usually stream on Saturdays, but today I decided to. So I don't know who will join, but it'll be a different crowd probably than normally who can show up at, I don't know, 4 a.m. or whatever Pacific Standard Time. Hey, awesome. Welcome, everyone. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Just figured it'd be fun to do some kind of UI challenge today, and I kind of had a little break in my day and needed a breather. So what do we do when we need a breather? Well, we code it for fun. So that's what I'm going to do. Why do we code? It's for fun. Sometimes. All right, so here we are right here. I've got this component challenge. This comes from Daily WebDev Daily right here. John, the maker of WebDev Daily, did give me a pro subscription, which basically lets me get the Figma file. But other than that, it should be the same. If you want to follow along, you're welcome to. So a big thanks to John for that. But other than that, no affiliation between the two of us. We've connected a little bit over Twitter, I think. But all right, I don't have any grand plans for this. Like normal with my live streams, I haven't thought about it ahead of time. This is a UI challenge, so not a ton here. It's super complex, but I figured I have the Germany Denmark game on just below, and I'm going to relax a little bit, so feel free to join. Happy to answer any questions. I'll probably use Astro. I don't know if I should just keep this real simple and like make this straight of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, or if we should actually have this data set up. Hey, welcome from Florida. Yeah, because of when I normally stream, I usually get like all non-US people, and so maybe this will be lots of US people. I don't know. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to come over here. I've just got my terminal open. What am I going to do? Let's see. Let's do npm create Astro. That'll work at latest. All that's fine. Let's call this thing Web Dev Daily dashboard component, and we'll get started. You can skip all like the CLI stuff, which is cool. I do like it in Astro, but when I'm getting started here with a project, it's easier just to skip it. Hey, from France, welcome. I guess France isn't playing today, so not sure what this music is. Let's skip this. Or what this music is. Let's go again. Okay, this will work. Oh man, the match is just suspended. I'll forget that. I guess I'm not watching that anymore. I think maybe I'll create a little data file to read from. I guess we could also like set this up with a database and everything, but I'm not sure I want to get that fancy. Yeah, let's not get that fancy. So let's cd into, what did I call this thing? Dashboard component. There we go. And I'm going to get this open. I don't remember how this opens, so I'm just going to quickly blur my screen and be right back with you. All right. Okay, cool. Move back this way. Hey, welcome. Expense tracker using Vue. Sure, you could use Astro. I mean, it depends what you need. Really, the biggest thing would be, like, what I would do is if you're already using Vue, like just keep building it out, and then you can just bring the component over into an Astro file, or, project. So just to me, like the dividing line is like, how responsive do I need this thing to be? And if I need it to be really responsive, I usually reach for React or Vue or Svelte or something else. I just know React, so that's what I reach for. Basically anything else, including stuff that just needs to be like SSR, it's always Astro for me, and then I just embed little React components places. So sometimes I'll have a whole route that's just React, but the rest of the site can just be static, and I just let Astro worry about the routing and all that. All right, let's get this started with npm run dev and jump back over this way. I should get this up with 4321 once we're ready. And we've got this here. I've also got the Figma file over this way. So I'm thinking what we might do is just get a lot of this stuff in here and think through some structure stuff first. So maybe let's do that. So as far as the data structure is concerned, we're going to have generally something like this. Let's get this up a little bit bigger so you can see it, hopefully. All right, so let's do like an ID. Oh, that's not going to help me out. So to have some kind of ID, string or whatever it might happen to be. The status, this would be completed. I'm not going to write the entire type out here, I guess. Completed, etc. Then we've got payment details. Let's see, payment deets. How about that? All right, and then inside here we'll have something like card or type or something like that. This could be like Visa. Oops. A number. Maybe I should prefix all these. I kind of feel like we should load this from a data file. This would be whatever the number happens to be, which would just be a string, I think, because my guess is you'd get back from the database. I don't know. I've never worked with displaying stuff like this. I'm assuming you don't get like the full credit card number and you're just like hiding it in your template language. I would assume not. And then type. Ooh, okay. So we've got a bank type too. So maybe this is just type. That's fine. Number. How about name? And then we've got bank card type would be card or bank or whatever. Okay. Then we've got the amount, whatever that happens to be. This would probably just be a number. And the date, which would be date. And then like note maybe, Amazon. And then I don't know what we want. Maybe under here, I don't know what this is supposed to have because it's just, it doesn't show you. So maybe we have like a little delete status or something like that. I've worked on the last 4 of credit card. DB usually returns a string and is parsed. Okay, so already like this. Okay. So it only gives you the last 4. Okay. Okay, so something like this will be our data structure. And it doesn't really matter what it is, but let's come over here. And let me go ahead and create a data folder. And inside here, we'll just call it like transactions.ts. I don't really want to do JSON if I don't have to. I guess it doesn't super matter, but I'd rather not type JSON out from scratch. Let's see, if I got something like this, I could get ChatGPT just to generate a bunch of these. So let's do this. So let's actually create a type. This, yeah. So we've got completed, pending, and canceled. And then payment deets. Let's say we've got Visa, MasterCard, account. Or Amex. Let's see. That's fine. We can change that around as we need to. What music is this? Goodness. Amount. That's fine. Date will be a date type. We'll say Amazon. Let's just call this a string and then see what it gives us. All right, there we go. Eventually we'll get there. What am I doing wrong? Whatever. Given this type, give me like 6 transactions. It's just using Raycast. Wow, thank you. That was so helpful. Why is it formatted weird? Okay. Maybe because I didn't ask for it in an array? Perhaps. Not really sure. Okay. I don't know, I'd rather work with like actual live data, and I don't know, then we can, it's more interesting than just doing a straight up transactions. That'll work. That way it's more interesting than merely doing a like UI challenge. Yeah, I was missing the curly brace. I think that was it. Oh, you're saying on the type. Yeah. Transactions, which somehow I misspelled again. I think my C key must not be working. We'll just export this. All right. What's the matter with this thing? I don't know. Okay. All right, so into here, let's go ahead and come over here, and I can just grab transactions, import transactions, like that. And then let's just console log this to make sure we're getting what we think. All right, there we go. So it actually should know all the types too for all this. New payment for groceries. Should this be this? It should probably be a string. So let's come back over here. Let's just get rid of all these things. All right, that should probably work. Does that look decent? Probably. These probably shouldn't be called notes. This should be like vendor or something. And then I'll just grab all these, and for now we'll just say like Amazon or whatever. Oh man, what did I mess up here? Got that. Got that, got that, got that. This is called typing out data with Chris. What's going on? 25 2. Why is that not okay? I definitely need this here. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we've got the data, and we can actually do something with this. So next thing I want to do is set up some basic styles. So I'm going to come over here. Let's just do a styles folder, and we'll have like a main.css. And let's see, let's set some basics here before. I typically like to set my margin and my padding to 0. Just let the parent control a lot of the spacing. And then I don't know if we have some kind of typeface here we have to think about. Let's see, what do we have? Plus Jakarta Sands. Medium bold. Medium bold. Okay. We can do that. I guess since this is just one page, we can just leave it here. We'll call this like dashboard component. How about this? Web Dev Daily Dashboard. No Tailwind. Nah, not today. This isn't that complex. I mean, we could do Tailwind, but then I feel like it would take even shorter, which we can do. If there's an uprising from the crowd, we can do Tailwind. Let's do fonts. Jakarta. There we go. Regular. What do I want? What What do I do there? Regular, semi-bold, bold. We had bold, right? Yeah, bold and medium. Okay, I'll jump up here. Plus Jakarta Sands. Isn't there like a... Let's grab this. Oh. They only have variable fonts here. Anyhow, let's just grab this, drop this in here. Oh. Come back over here. All right, let's look this up so we can actually see that it's working. So I'm going to come over here and we'll just import the main. Actually, let's do this first. Let me set up a little type alias just to make this a little easier. Not that we're going to have that many components, but I typically like to do this anyhow. So let's do compiler options, base URL. We've got paths. And let's set this up with anything like this is equal to src this. I think that works. So now we're going to grab our main.css. Styles, main.css. There we go. Okay, cool. It's working. All right, next let's go ahead and set up some default color schemes, which we'd have to do no matter what we were doing. Probably the easiest thing is just to grab all this. Actually, let me grab this first. And we'll set this as the background color will be this, since it seems to be the only time it's used. Now, for the rest of this, let me just come over here. 15 colors. I mean, is this necessary? So we've got some reds, like just random whites, purples. What is this even used for? Let's use somewhere in there. Okay. So, I mean, don't do this to people for a little component like this. All right. What do I want to do here? Not grab all these colors, I can tell you that, but I guess we're going to have to. Why don't I just start with this main background? Stroke. Here, let's start just as we need, maybe. What's the background color for this thing? There's no fill. Show in exports. Thank you. Oh, what is it? Something new in Figma where it doesn't show you the fill? Okay, whatever. I'll just grab it. All right, so back over here. Supposedly that's white. And what is this? That's white. What is this? Okay. All right, so let's do this, and then whatever these things are here. We're going to call this text. We'll call this muted. Okay, so let's start there. I guess we've also got this purple color, so let's grab this too. I think that's everything in this upper section, so let's start there. Okay. Let's see, what other design things do we have? What is this thing? There we go. Looks like these are... Why is this thing not showing me? I wonder if this is pulling from somewhere else. What are these things? This is like a kind of a Figma document. Radius 10, okay. So we'll have like, I don't know, other stuff. Let's have this be colors. I might have some typography things here. Let's do like radius. Anything else? I guess 25, 18, 20. So those aren't consistent. That's not cool. 5, 4. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to create our own little spacing stuff where we do whatever we want. Okay? Utopia. Utopia.fyi. All right, let's grab some spacing stuff. Hopefully you're doing all right today. If you're just joining us, we're just building out a UI component because I had a little bit of time and felt like doing something. So if I grab all these, I typically call these like size or something like that. What do I call these? Space? I don't remember. Maybe I just leave them at space. I don't remember what I do. Let's call it that. Now we've got some nice little claimed space variables to use throughout. I think that's good. All right, good enough to at least get started with. So let's take my body and let's set the color to my var of text. Just to make sure this is working. If we go muted, yeah, there we go, okay. And then let's get a card going in here. So let me collapse this head. And let's just have this thing be a main component. And let's scope some stuff here. So we'll take the main and just say display grid. Here I'm typing min height. I'm typing tailwind stuff. I was just doing some tailwind development today, so I'm gonna blame that. Let's come over here. We'll do components and do like card.astro. And we'll say card just so we can see it come in. And then we'll have our card right here, which somehow does not want to import. That's fine. There we go, our card. Let's see, min height, screen, I still did it. Okay, there we go. So over here in the card, one of the things you can do is like pull a lot of these things in elsewhere, but like this would probably be scoped to the card itself. So I would tend to bring this down this way and just have a card, which I guess is just gonna be div. I give this thing class of card. We got scope styles down here. We can take the card, set back the background color. All right, cool. And let's also set some padding. Let's do like XL, something like that. There we go. Also take the border radius and set the var to rounded. All right, good thing is just feeling like learning HTML. Not to switch to... Yeah, thanks, comrade. We're not doing anything super complex. So... I know it's been a while since I've streamed, I think, with just straight up CSS, so... Too late, comrade. If you were earlier, we could have done it. All right, back to whatever the thing is we're supposed to be doing. Transactions. Let's also grab some, while we're over here. Let's just grab our own little stuff here. So let's come inside here, step. See, what I don't like is that these are like singles and then these have double. I guess this is negative. Okay, never mind. I was like, why would they do that? So let's grab all these and we'll say like font or something like that. Font size, how about that? And I think like font size 0 is going to be the normal one. So let's set cool. All right, and then let's have a couple things in this card component. To start with, let's just have this upper section. Probably create some utility classes here. Ancient techniques from time to time. Oh my god. Some tailwind people, man. I know you're just messing. All right, so let's go ahead and set up a couple utility classes. So we've got some grid containers here. It's a good idea just to look around and see what else I have. These are probably going to be, I don't know if it's worth setting up utilities for these, because I'm already going to have their own little things. Let's not do that. So let's just do like, I don't know, headering. We'll call this header. And then I'm going to have, I don't know what this would be. I guess H1 now, transactions. I think we're going to inherit a lot of that. So why don't we come up top here, a font. I can take the font everything, right? What is the like unset? Don't do this. All right. And obviously this needs to be up here. Okay. So now I got to do all my own styling for these. But who would want it any other way? Am I right? So you got the header. And by default, Astra will scope all these styles. So that's why I'm keeping it right there. In this style tag, this local style tag. So they're scoped to this component. And typically when you're writing standard CSS, it's best to keep things as scoped as possible unless you're trying to inherit them. Like you have some global styles or something like that. So now let's see, we've got our header. This will be display flex. Justify content space between. Align items center. I mean, that's not that much slower than Tailwind, am I right? It's just you don't get all like the initial defaults, but whatever. I changed those anyhow. Do I sound defensive? Font size. I'll do var font size, like, I don't know. Let's do large and see what that looks like. Oh no, I forgot they were numbered. 2, 1, perfect. Font weight is bold. We're going to call that exactly what we want it to look like. Okay, see transactions. So here we're going to have, I guess this is going to be some kind of link to nowhere. See transactions. And here's where I would probably, let's do a couple things here. So we're going to have a span in here. And then we'll also have whatever this little icon thing is. It's just like a standard, come on, copy as SVG. Let's jump over here. And first of all, I'm going to create an icons folder. We'll have like caret right.svg. Paste that thing in there. Let's see, stroke. Let's just set this to current color so I can pick that up from the actual link. All right. Then what we're going to do is restart everything. So let's do here, do npx astra add, astra icon. That seems right. Yes. Yes. Yes, we'll add that. npm run dev should pick that icon up. We called it caret right, so let's import that up top. Let's see, import caret right from icons. Where's my icons? Okay, that'll work. close this down. I'm not sure why that is not importing either. Let's just refresh this window and see if that helps. It's been getting better, but for whatever reason with Astro's, there we go, extension, I was having some trouble there for a little bit. Caret right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see. We could give this thing a class, like link or something like that, but it's an anchor link tag. Let's call this thing button because, yeah, and then we'll, how do I want to style this? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I guess before we do too much, we should also come in here. Let's set a gap. Sure, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. All right. What I want is to like change this situation to where I get a better focus state. Seems a little aggressive too. Large. Medium, space, X large. What are my spacing options? Large, like that. One less character. Saving those bytes. All right, so let's change that focus state a little bit. So here's my global styles. Like, I don't need to write this down. Let's do button. Is that what I called it? Yep. Okay. Let's set. Yeah, that'll work. So we're going to set this to our text by default. And then we'll set the color here to our text color. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because that way I can just come over here, and if I want to change the style, which there are other ways to do this, but yeah, then I can just redeclare text color. Can I do this? Let's see. Accent purple. Yeah, see, so then I can override it now. You may not like that. You can also do it with like data tags or other things like that, but that way I know this is a purple one. You could also just have like a button purple, but then you have to have them for each of them. I don't know. Right now, that's fine. That'll work. Okay, so we're gonna use the text color. I guess I could also have a background color, which I probably won't use here. Do I even have any buttons in this entire thing? No. Is this a needless component I'm setting up right now then? Probably. So let's leave it alone and just size, space. Let's do like 2 extra small. Something like that. Let's set the background color here too, just so I can see what's going on. So that doesn't seem to work. Space M. That's probably why. All right, cool. There we go. Looks better already. Let's take the focus state and set the outline color to transparent. And then we'll take the focus visible state. Oops. And we'll come over here with the box shadow. And here, typically I'd use like the background color for this, but since I know this is only used in one spot in the entire design, let's just go ahead and do this here. So we'll say like 2 pixels solid and var text color. Yeah, there we go. Let's do like 5. So we're gonna make a little ring here where you have the background surrounded by that. Let's see if that worked. No, it did not. Cool. 2 pixels solid. Oh, I need to set this up with like 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 0 pixels, which I don't think you have to have pixels there. And we'll do it like this. Now let's try. What am I messing up here? Well, I don't need solid to start with because that's a border. There we go. Okay. So let's do more like 6 pixels, something like that. And let's see, do I have a 3x small? Yeah, let's do that. 3x small, we'll use 2x small. That looks better. All right, let's also do border radius var rounded. See how much nicer that looks? Okay. Finally, let's do a hover state. Let's see, let's just change the opacity to like 0.8. And then here, let's do transition. We'll do on opacity, 250 milliseconds, ease. Let's do some kind of cubic Bezier curve. There we go. We'll do the same thing here. We'll swap this out for box shadow. There we go. So much better. Okay. That'll work. All right. We got a needless component built out. Let's see, this is muted. So here I think I will create a couple utility classes. So we'll say this is like components. Utils, and I'll have a muted class. We'll just apply this as color muted. This should be able to go down here, right? Yeah. So below the header, we'll have a little paragraph tag, if it will let me. Or I'll copy in this text. Oh, it's just Laura Mimson. That's all right. All right, let's also take our card and set like a min. I don't know, we'll do like 700 pixels or something. Maybe 900 pixels, I don't know how big is this thing? It's about 789, 798. 798. Cool. Let's also maybe come over to the open CSS up over here as well. I'll set some padding on this whole thing to like var space medium. Okay, cool. Let me actually do this just so I can see a little bit better with my head there. Will it give me something? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'll try to remember to turn that off, but no promises. Font size. What was that index over here? Didn't I pull in the 400? Oh, the 500. I feel like that looks more like a 400. So, yeah, we're going to leave that there. I don't know if it's just displaying it a little bit different in Figma. If we get rid of that, that should be fine. Okay. All right, we're going to call that pretty much good. I guess we got a little gap here, 4 pixels-ish. Let's also set a font or like a line height. I'll do like 1.4 on everything. That work. Close that down. Let's come back over here. Let's see the card itself. How do we want to stack this up? let's just do this. Be wary of this kind of stacking, but in this case, I think this is all right. We're gonna move all this inside here. And then here we'll just say display of grid and like gap of var space. Large is gonna be way too much. Header. Yeah. Like 2x small. Sure. That'll work. Okay, so then let's stack these things up. We're going to pass each of these, like these will be like table rows kind of thing. So let's do that. Next. Index. Probably what I would do is pass these transactions down to the card like this. Const. Destructure the data here from the astro.props object. And then, let's see, this should already know what it is, right? Any. Okay, maybe not. Let's see. Isn't there like a JSON to TS thing? Oh, it's not JSON. Can I just copy the type from here? Yeah. Types. Transactions.ts. Export type. Export type. No, type. Transactions equals come on. Can I just do this maybe? Yeah. Okay, so let's come back over here. This is already typed properly, but it's not inside here. I can say type props equals data will be type of transactions. And once again, it's not importing properly, but let's say my transactions from type of. Not sure I'm following you there, Storm. Hey, John. Oh, cool. Just completed yesterday. Nice. Yeah, this is peak 30s right here. Just taking a cool afternoon to have some fun coding. We got our data. Now should know what this is. Okay, cool. So we'll pass each of these items down here below. So maybe we'd have this be like content or something like this. And then I'll just loop over this data and like pass it to the individual components. I think about the only thing I would really make their own components are probably these little status badges. The rest of this, yeah, I'll just hard code, I think. That would be my kind of my gut content. Here we'll do display grid, gap, var space something. Sure. Actually, each of these probably won't be spaced out at all. But I will do display grid. Okay, and then let's create another little component. We'll call this like, I don't know, table row to astro. And this needs to be an array. But other than that, this should be very similar. Now it is working, so that's nice. And for now, let's just take my data dot. Doesn't it know what it has? ID. If I can type. Why is this not being found? What am I messing up here? I don't know. Let's at least pass this down this way. Our table row. There we go. Okay, so it is working. I'm not sure why that doesn't contain it. Oh. Transactions. Types. So this is, we're going to call this transaction. How about that? All right, an array of transactions, that should work. Now we got these things in here. Okay, cool. This bottom little section. So I guess maybe before we move on from this, let me open back up the card. We've got the card itself that has all this padding. Don't know that we need that. So let's come down here and just add it on this upper section. And then we'll do all the spacing down here below. And then finally, let's do like 3XL or something here. No? Display flex. Why is this not working? The div inside here. Oh. It's that spacing, I forgot. Well, that's fine. That'll work. Okay. Let's close this down. Looks great. Okay. I'm not super concerned about getting this like pixel perfect. So, which I know is kind of the point of some of these UI challenges, but why do we code? It's for fun. So I want to have some fun. So let's see. We've got a couple different things here. We've got these little stacks. This whole thing's going to be some kind of flex row. I also probably want to copy this out as an SVG as well. We'll call this like, what's this, kebab? .svg, is that how you spell kebab? I think. And we'll say current color. And I've got to restart my dev terminal since I updated an icon for Astra Icon. I think that's right. All right, let's go ahead and grab other colors we need. This just fills that. Why does this one look light and this one doesn't? What am I missing here? I don't know. Am I like misseeing this? Or is it just that these have like a shadow? Huh. I'm not totally sure on that. Oh well. All right, so we've got these little stacks. And we've got these pills. So maybe let's do the pills first. So let's create a little component here. Call this like status pill.astro. And I guess this can just be a little span. And we'll take in the data from astro.props. And here we got transaction. And then I'll pick off payment deets. Oops, and I'll pick off, if I can type, the vendor type amount. Maybe I want to, oh yeah, I want the status. All right, so we'll put the data in here. Now, we know this can only be one of three types. Transaction over here. So this says this, but it can only be completed, pending, or canceled. So let's go ahead and, now that we know it can only be one of these, just make sure, yeah. So I guess we could call this something like name. And then let's pull this in here. So we're going to say, for now, I'll just pull this in a status pill. And I guess we could just call this status, right? And this could be data.status. There we go. So we've got those options. And then we've got some different colors. So I think what I'm going to do is just set the class here to whatever the status is. I guess we could lowercase it, status.lowercase to lowercase like this. So this will be completed, whatever, pending or canceled. And then what I'm going to do is have a little style declaration down here. And here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to set this up as a class list. Not that this will make a huge deal, but yeah, we could set it like this. And we'll also have this say like pill. So we'll have some default styles that we do under this pill declaration. Do I want to like be super precise with this? I don't know. We'll do padding space 3 extra small, maybe. There we go. And then we'll do var space 2 extra small. And then we'll do background color. Oh, you know what? Here's what I should do. Let's take this, get rid of all this, and just call this pill. We'll do the same thing we did earlier. We've grabbed the style here, and I guess this time, now let's just do it like this. Or we're gonna set like a pill background or something like that to the status.lowercase. I think that should work. So then I can set a pill color to default to my text or something like that. Does that sound right? Pill background. And then we'll do var pill background color, var text. I like the old idea. Okay, so I've got basically this pill status completed whatever, and I've also got that. So let's do this. If it's also completed, I'll set the background color here just to make sure this is working to like green. Okay, there we go. So eventually we'll have this be like accent green. So let's go ahead and get some of these colors in before I just start typing them out so we can actually see if they're working or not. So I'll come back up top here. We've got accent purple, accent green, and I guess we should have like a green background because didn't we have some changes there? We've got 3 different greens here, right? Oops. Yeah, okay, so we're going to call this like text, accent, and background or something. So we'll have this be the background. And we've got a text, and then we've got an accent. So for the accent, we've got this here. And obviously you could name these different things if you wanted to, but background text. So background text and accent, that should work. So let's come back over here. There's probably even a more modular way to do some of this CSS stuff, but we'll say, let's get rid of this. And then we'll set the color here to text. That'll work. Cool. All right, other things I need on this. Let's also set up one more utility class, or not class, I guess, but just rounded full. Yeah, let's jump over here. Border radius var rounded full. Cool, cool, cool. Probably needs to be a little bit more. Small maybe. That'll work. Okay, cool. Let's also set this up as display flex. Items center. Max width will be fit content. I think that'll work. Gap of our space. Let's say small. All right, because we should also have a little dot inside here, right? So we've got the status. So maybe this can be in its own little span. And then next to here we'll have, I don't know, dot. How about that? I should probably name this span since it's inside of a span. Maybe we'll just have this be div. Sure, whatever. Okay. My dot inside here should be like, let's do like a width. And since I'm assuming most people are not going to have the Figma, I'm trying not to like super rely on it. Let's see, if we got completed, and inside the completed we've got a dot. We're going to set the background color here to var accent. How do I want to, I don't really want to retype all this stuff. Maybe I could have like a little map up top. Yeah, maybe let's do that. Accent, green, accent. Is that right? Yeah. All right. 13 pixels maybe. Rounded full. Cool. I think that mostly works. Sure. That looks a little better maybe. I don't know. Either be concerned or don't be concerned, but don't go back and forth like this. Sure. Let's call that good. All right, so that should work there. I'm just thinking I'd rather have some kind of way to not have to redeclare this every time I do anything. So maybe we should just have like a background. Accent and text. And then for each of these, I guess I should probably make these things like actually work. So let's set this to like accent purple or something as the default. I'll set this to var background as the default. I'll set this to var text as the default. I think that'll work. And then let's just set all these up to use these. So this right here, we'll use var, what do I call these? Pill accent by default. And then, yeah, well, let's leave this there. So we'll do this a slightly different way than we did the other ones. We won't like hard code it in there, but we'll have a background color. Be my var pill background, which for some reason I wrote out like that. And then we'll take the color, and this will be the text. All right, and then all we have to do is come inside here, and on the completed class, we would just update this to pill background. Pill text. And we don't even need that declaration anymore. We could just say, this is the pill accent. I think that should work. And then what I can do is come down here. We've got pending and canceled. So for pending, we change that up, and for canceled, we change that up. Okay, cool. Obviously they're all green right now, but let's see, this would eventually be yellow and red probably. So I'm guessing yellow is pending, yeah. So we'll change these to yellow, and we'll change these to red. And then all we have to do is add these variables, I think. think. So back over here. I'll change these to yellow. And we'll change these to red. Okay. Cool. So I guess this is text. This is accent. And this is whatever the other thing is. Background. Look at that. Okay, cool. Same thing here. Let's come over here. Grab one. See, this would be background. Now it looks like Christmas, but you know, it'll change. Looks like accent. Yeah. And then finally, this is text. Okay, so we got our pills done. That's good. What else do we have? We got some padding to think about, but we'll get to that. For now, maybe let's add some basic... What's this music? What else do we have? Status, table row, card, header, padding. Let's grab this. So the status pill here... No, that's not what I want. We're going to call this like class of row. Style. Row will be display flex. Padding. It's like the weirdest music ever. All right, let's do that. And then maybe up and down we do like small. Sure. This would be items center, line items center, justify content, space between probably. All right, so we got a couple more rows here. I guess we could also like set up a grid and make these things like subgrid children that align. That might be kind of cool. I don't know that I've done subgrid in a while, and it's like barely in browsers, but I think it is in everything now. So that's an option. See, each of these rows should be the same. Yeah, display grid, yeah. So I could do that. Well, we don't even really need to do a subgrid. We could just do a grid. And then grid auto flow. So that's a column. And then we could declare the columns. So yeah, maybe we come back to that. Why don't we get something else in here first? So we've got the Visa card payment. So let's set up a little stack here. And I'll just say stack is display grid, gap of like space small, might be extra small. And we're gonna have two things. We'll have a strong that says whatever that is. So we'll have the data dot payment deets dot amount date type card name, I think is what we call this. Yeah, okay. So I'll have the name, and I guess we don't need this as a span because we can just add this here. Do I need that little space? So let's do this. There we go. We're going to take any strongs in here. Oops. Any strong tags. And do a font weight of bold. Which we should probably do just for the whole site since I reset all my typography. But let's come over here to CSS. And let's set up that. So that should probably just be localized here. All right, so I don't have to do that, but I do want to set this as display flex and play or align items center. Do I work as a front-end dev? No. I code for fun, for my own pleasure. I have a couple jobs where I do get to code a little bit here and there, but mostly, get out of here. Mostly I just do it for fun. I guess that's how it's supposed to be, so I guess forget all that stuff. But I've mostly done, if I do anything, it's mostly front end, although I've been trying to move into back end more, or as they say, full stack, which I guess I saw recently somebody say full stack means you're not good at front or back end dev work, which, you know, way to just call me out like that. But I'd like to move into a more full stack type of role. So we're going to have payment here underneath it. Stack. Three extra small. That should work. The other thing I want to do is, since we've already got this set up, let's use our muted class. Oh no, not there. Here. Muted. And then we're going to just set the type right here. Right? Data.payment deets.type. Card payment. Yeah, that works. Okay. All right, let's also pull in, like, let's assume this is some kind of button. And here I'm going to pull my icon. And we're going to call this kebab. Kebab. I still don't think that's how you do it. Okay, so at least that's all the way over there. Then we're going to have all these rows. Align item center, justify content space between, justify items, start. Is that right? Oh, since I switched the orientation though. Here's where I want this to be start. No? Let's see. Where am I at? This is grid. The stack of these things. Justify content space between. Justify items, though, is where I want to start. All right, let's pull this up in the DevTools because somehow switching the orientation there threw me off. Two, three. So it's spacing those out that way. Oh yeah, I need to declare grid template columns. So maybe this is where I should just do this. We'll just say repeat like 5 100 pixels or something like that. Sure, that'll work for now. I guess eventually I don't want this to be, maybe let's like set this up. Ooh, they're gonna split space. Yeah, never mind. Let's, how do I want to do this? Maybe we'll come back to that and use subgrid. Maybe that's a better idea. And we'll have the parent grid have like all of its little sections. Maybe let's do that. Okay, so let's see what else we need. I can use the same styling here, so let's just copy this down and do another stack. And we've got the amount, and we've also got date. So let's come over to my data file. I got a date and I've got an amount. Okay, cool. So here we could like hard code this in here, but it makes more sense like the hard code the actual like value or whatever. But if we do to locale string, isn't there like a, we'll do undefined, or I guess let's do enus because that's what we're doing. Type to locale string. Isn't there like a currency? There we go. Never do currency. Yes. I should forget the exact terminology here. Style currency. That's right. These internationalization things are the bomb.com. Look at that. All right. And then the date below. So let's take the date right here. And I don't need this to say payment afterwards. So we know this should be a date. Like this. To locale string. To date locale string. To date string. To date locale string, I think. Same formatting? No. So here I could do, again, I guess here I could do undefined. And then, what are my options? Let's see, day. So January 7th. So let's say month will be, what are my things again, like short or something? Yeah, here we go. Narrow, short, June. Okay. Then we're going to do day. This will be 2-digit. Numeric. I think numeric is what I want. Let's change one of the data items. Ow, get out of here. Let's change this to something like 09. Okay. I think that's what I want, right? They don't have like, well, they don't show. Let's just keep it there. And then I want year. Numeric as well. Yep. Okay, cool. So that is good. And then we got Amazon, whatever those are. So this will simply be a muted paragraph that has the data.payment deets.vendor. Okay, it's all over but the spacing. So let's come down here. We're going to add a gap. That should work. Okay. All right. Just about done. Table row, is this what we want? Let's set this to more like 900 something. Probably just means some of my typing is off. Okay, so here's where we... Oh yeah, and I forgot we got to do something with these two. Could have like a little pop-up or something. That'd be kind of fun, but I probably need to get going soon because... oh yeah, my family's almost back, so once they get here, who knows what'll happen. I'll set up, pardon me, the content here as display grid. Well, they're going to do grid template columns. How do I want to set this up? Actually, I think in this case it makes sense just to set this up hard-coded here. I know what the length of these things should be. So I can just take the longest one for each of these. So this is like 170. And I think I can just set those up that way. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's come over here. Create template columns. We're going to have 170 pixels. Let's do like 400 pixels for the rest. For now. And then we'll do auto. Create template columns. Do I have to change this since I changed the orientation? I can't remember that. Why is this not adjusting at all? Let's see, justify. I'm not sure why this isn't adjusting. There's spaces here. I get that. Maybe it's actually this. Okay. 109, 170. All right, since I'm not really using grid here, let's switch this back to flex, because this is what I would normally do on something like this. Oops. Although I want the fixed columns, so that's why I was doing it. That's right. So it's stacking it that way. This should switch it this way. Actually, if I just do grid template columns, template rows, right? No. Grid autoflow column. Justify item start. Align item center. Want that. I think I also want that. This doesn't matter. This doesn't super matter, I guess. We can get rid of that for now. 1FR. What am I messing up here? Hey, Christina, welcome. All right, this shouldn't be difficult, so let's figure out what's going on. So I've got the main. That's not the one I want. Inside here, header, content, row. Okay, so this is what I want. Just trying to figure out why these things are not being spaced out properly. Is it just a basic syntax thing I'm forgetting? I'm pretty sure I did a video this week on grid too. So, you know, sometimes you still have to look up documentation. Oh, there's no spacing. I'm an idiot. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Things are happening. It's amazing when you pay attention to basic syntax. Okay, let's come back inside here then. All I have to do is grab the full length of this, 272. So we'll do something like 1FR. Nah, let's do like 290 pixels. And you probably shouldn't like straight up hard code these kinds of things, but I would probably set this up with a parent grid. I think that's what I would do actually. 120. But I think for now I'm going to be extremely happy with this. 150 pixels. And then we'll just do whatever's left over. That should work. Okay. That'll work. Okay. I guess we should also do something with this button so it's not quite as ugly, because it's supposed to just look like that. So the nice thing is, like, this is all scope, so I can just come in here and say button, display grid, place items center, and then let's do background color, transparent, border, none. I'll do text or color, I mean. I'll do var muted, and I think that's pretty much it. I guess these are a certain size, 24 pixels. It looks really small. That's not really changed anything. Let's open up the kebab. 24, height 24, okay. Okay, there we go. Well, hopefully that was entertaining, interesting how we set that up. Let me come back to the main here just so I don't forget. And let's move this back like this. Obviously it's not really responsive, but you probably just have that thing overflow, honestly. Like the card itself. So like this, and you just scroll. Right? You could hide that if you don't want that to be down there, but it did seem like different colors here, but I don't know. I'm obviously missing something because, yeah, I guess we've got borders. Let's do that too. Little details. Let's see. Let's set this as a border bottom, 2 pixels, solid, var, muted, I guess. Oops. That doesn't seem right. Let's see, what color is this? Stroke. CSS. Accent. What is this? We're going to call this light. Come on. Okay, that'll work. And then I can just say last of type. Then we'll set the border bottom to none. Okay. Now we're mostly pretty much done. How do you feel about that? Oh, man, focus states. Am I right? Let's just give this thing also a class, a button. Oh, look at that. See? That's the nice thing about these classes, you know? And we'll just make sure we override it here where it has padding of like none or something. And then it doesn't, right? Or padding of 0. Yeah, that's kind of cool, right? I guess if we really wanted to, we could do like var space 3 extra small. Oh, it's got a little padding, but it's square at least, like the button. I like that. Okay. Well, hopefully that satisfied every desire you've ever had on a Saturday afternoon for coding tutorials. But yeah, I enjoyed coding with you. So I think that's all I got. So thanks so much. I'll throw this code up somewhere and you're welcome to check it out, but I'll catch you in the next one. Happy coding.